The best part of being an inspirational artist is knowing that where you are, sometimes it might have to change frequently. And that's why there's need for conferences, opportunities to gather with people who have like minds and similar interests. I say this because 2 weeks is the difference between the same thing and a broader mind. The fact that you can go on vacation, the fact that you can visit a friend, visit a family member, it doesn't matter what happens there, but just how you enjoy yourself and how you take the environment, how you breathe in, how you relax, how you're able to buy food. Just sit down for a minute, order food, not wait so long. Order it yourself, get it yourself. Be with somebody. So it's not like that somebody tries to orient you or force you to be a certain person. The best track, I think, that I produced that was sadly so true was Listen. And I think that's when a lot of people started to notice that your true passion is not who other people say you are. Your true passion is how consistent you have been over the years in still expressing yourself the way you do. I'm not saying that people won't try to change you. I'm not saying that people won't call you out. I'm not saying that people might not reduce you to whatever they think that you're worth. But I think at the end of the day, we will know based on how welcome you are. When you think about it, there's no one that intimidates you. There's no one that tells you you're not special. There's no one that tells you that you can't achieve it. Because usually you're the person that keeps telling people that. You're the person that keeps inspiring people. But when it's time for you to get the inspiration, a lot of people have a way of drowning you out. And that's why I had to learn to relax. Wake up early in the morning and just approach life from a different perspective. Because I think when you're always on the edge, people think they can manipulate you and, what's the word? Drive you to suicide. Like, I was listening to Carlos Mencia and I was saying, dude, you're in comedy. You're in comedy. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing funny about death. There's nothing funny about driving people to the edge. But I can understand when you run out of content. I can understand when you run out of songs. I can understand when you don't have a true message. When you weren't your own best friend, your own cheerleader, telling yourself that I will make it till tomorrow. You have to understand that survival is based on self. If you don't think you're going to survive, you're not. But if you think you are, damn well you will. holidays, and I'm so grateful that there are holidays that you can go to. There is time away. There's that vacation that you can go for that changes everything. There's that hotel that you can go to, like a restaurant or whatever, that changes everything. But when people choose to invade your personal space, and that's why I love my space, because if you wasn't on the wall, you wasn't the friend or whatever, it didn't matter. You were still part of the network. But it was just a way for you to appreciate your top 8. And in a way, it's like advertising. It's promoting people. So you find out that the first musicians that you listened to, that you appreciated, that you put on your top 8, where are they today? They're probably at the top of the charts. And somebody put you in their top 8. I remember Butter. So, it's kind of like we self-marketed ourselves on MySpace based on our thoughts and our interests. And that's why all of us are here today. We're not here because we fucked our way to the top, or we put people down, or we trampled on people to get up. That's not what it was. It was our truth at the time. Because if you talk to a nigga and you told a nigga, this is how we're going to do it, this is how we're going to do the business, this is how we're going to do it, and they still went behind your back, they did the business anyway. But they just didn't give you a cut. It's that pure anger that would cause you to react in a certain way. And when you react in that way, you know what I'm saying, you are letting the nigga know that betrayal is still betrayal. But I'm not going to come to your house and cut shit or start writing shit. I'm going to use 3 minutes and 54 seconds to tell you how I feel. And so that every time you play that track, you realize that this is the cost of betrayal. Now, those 3 items, a logo, a song, an album name, how much would you pay to do that right now? So why is it that we pay some, but we won't pay others? Because they're our family. And I remember somebody saying, be careful doing business with family. I don't think it's being careful. It's the individuals. It's not the whole umbrella. It's the individual. But just some people that you can't do business with. They're just some people that you can't produce for. And not because, or allowed to produce you. It's not that you can't work with them. It's just that, what have they done every time you've worked with them? Or every time you said, oh, I'm going to work with you? They've responded in a way that is not healthy to the art. What they take it as is not what it really is. But meanwhile, they be doing the same thing. Everybody would be doing the same thing they was doing, working in Shields. I'm gonna let you check me out because I want you to know who Brooke Shields is. And other people like me that have been through similar experiences because of the art, because of their passion. They've been suppressed for no reason. And then when you finally get to this destination or this holiday or whatever, then people are going to try to repeat the past, which is delegate. You know what I'm saying? You want somebody to you always want that family member who's staff. You feel? But the truth is, you're just afraid. Afraid that this can get you in the White House, and that's what it does. This talking shit, they're all candidates right now. They were all on the radio. So you talking, but you still getting something at the end of the month. But they started talking, and now they can actually lead the whole country. You understand what I'm saying? So the advancement is just locally that it doesn't really get you anywhere. But internationally, and that's where I enter. Interest goes. So locally, it's just talk, it's just niggas calling you names, it's just niggas leaving stuff, niggas doing their thing. But internationally, it's an opportunity to advance based on this. Based on records. So I won't be stopping your opportunity to release records, log into your email, if I really understood the power of word. So it must be that when you don't educate yourself to a level where you can understand people, you're going to be fearful of how far they can go with their level or their knowledge. So as a people, you're going to be fighting their advancement, fighting their opportunity, with the only way you know how, racism. Which is just rape, really. Let's be real. Let's be real. Racism is just rape. That's just it. It's a fancy word for rape. But you see, I can watch it all. You can't hide that part of you. That's the difference. I can watch it all. It doesn't change how my brain works. You can hit 1,000 MacBooks on my head, 1,000 iMacs, but it doesn't change how it functions. But you will just be an abuser. And that's a stain that never goes away. Now, as a town, you'd only be able to be in this town, while we'd be able to travel because now we have an experience that didn't kill us. Now we have an experience that taught us to be better. Now we have an experience that taught us that, you know what? That's not who you are. So even if 5 motherfuckers decide that because I fell in love, they were gonna violate me, there's still 5 motherfuckers that are on thin ice. Look what I got. Look at what I got from that. Look what people can lose for that. This is funny at the time. But because of one thing, communication, satellite, it changes everything. The name of your company is the saving grace. That's an accessory. He's right next door. But in Yoruba, it's thank you, Lord. So we're in the service industry. We're both in the service industry. You're all accountants. I'm about making money. My only issue is where I'm at. I don't get a piece of the cake. Everybody else gets it. I get the crunch. So I have to choose. The ball is in my court. I have to choose where I'm going to be. I can't live here. I can't be successful here. But I will where it's even. I will where I'm earning from what I said. Like when your president basically cut my income and my spending. It was my mouth that rescued me. And then what does my cousin do? They cut off the internet. Because people get mad when you can stand on your own. You can't beg. Because they want to be able to say, hey, I gave you this. Or I bought you this. I did this. I did that. When you're independent with it and you're earning it from your mouth, they're going to shut it off. When your music starts selling, they're going to cut the distribution off. They're going to stop you from logging in. Because they want to be able to say you didn't make sales. Why? Because you're not directing the play. You're controlling everything. Then how can we work? How can I live with you when you control everything? How can I thrive with you when I can't even use my phone without you shooting an update the second day that changes everything about the phone? But then you claim that you're a society that encourages the youth. Except who? Read it. It's there. But Tokumbo Hilton is Tokumbo Hilton. doesn't change what I've done for this world. It doesn't change who I am or my brand. Where did we start? Island. Where are we now? So how could I, when they lived so far, right opposite the hotel? And all I did was just come downstairs at Moyo's house. At the right time. So you go through pain, you go through so much stress. But when you get to the hotels, it's not like a nigga just says, hey, well, you can't go here. Oh, I'm sorry, Ma, you can't come in. Looking like that. But you do it to everybody. Can't perform. It was the most expensive social experiment, but it paid. And it showed that the world is a bit judgmental, especially if it's lyrical. It causes you to look into yourself and see who you really are. If I'm telling you about homies and what niggas have done to me and how I've seen people killed in front of me, of course, believe that. Because in Brooklyn, that shit would happen back then. Even in Appleton, as far as 2006, 7, still pissing in the hallway. But I didn't even, it's like 2 minutes in the house, 2 minutes in the apartment. I think it was just weed we went to get. You know what I'm saying? So I've never really been close to these people enough for these people to say, hey, something happened. So like Michael said, allegedly. Because we're all in the city. We never left the city. I never leave the city when we're in somebody else's house. Because I don't want anybody to say, hey, this is what happened. And even when I spend the night at Holly's, every time I wake up, there's a kid just staring at me. And I think it's because of the way I sleep. I sleep on my left, which would be you coming into my right. So you would just be staring. It doesn't mean that, you know what I'm saying, I was with the kid. It just means that they just finally realized that, goddamn, that's your right side. They just finally realize who you are. Because they've always seen it. Daddy has always talked about it. Daddy had the poster. Everybody's daddy had the poster. But meanwhile, it was just a secret intelligence web. We're finding out what kind of society we live in. And what kinds of people would claim to be that as part of what they do, which is to claim, take the money, suppress the artist. Now, it's not their first time. It's not their second time. It's their third. You have Cher. You have Celine. You have Selena. It's not even the third time, it's the fourth. So it's happened before. It's not something that's new. It's always happened. And I need juice or something to drink because that's what I said. Once people recognize you, or you do something, or you do a video, or you do something on YouTube, their response is always torture. Nobody ever says, wow, congratulations. With every company that we inspire, they do that. When you hit a milestone with YouTube, we reward you. You get some kind of plaque that says, oh, congratulations, you just did this. Something listener, here you go. Something views, here you go. But then you still be mad because somebody had something to say. You get an award because we know that after you're going to come back and try and ridicule. It's for you. The mic was for you. The console was for you. You know what my dad does? He's an engineer. He's the one that builds all those boards that you see. That you do all those mixers and you turn on the volume and you control what it. So everybody is using it. As you're touching it, you're paying him. He went from borrowing money and being dissed by the lady in church who told every single body that she borrowed him money, to every minute he gets a credit. And when I asked him for money, what did he say? He said, I'm coming. He didn't answer me. So I got the house. Because I repaid you. And the Bible says, honor your father and your mother so your days may be long. However, if you don't respond or you cut off, I get something too. Because I'm not the first child that you envied when they started, or when they needed your help. Think about it. But I set up all my brothers. I got little brothers, 2 little brothers. They twins. Apart from my older brother and sisters. I set them up in their own thing. I don't ask them for money because I know that they have a family and they are still doing their thing. And not only did I set them up, I helped their wives too get to where they are today. So it goes back to that first move I took, going abroad. Because once you get that citizenship, you can free your family from the slavery, where they're not appreciated because they have a gift. To a country that embraces you and rewards your gift. And not a handout. I don't want somebody to hand me small change. I want to be able to go and withdraw what I deserve. I don't want an accountant who's going to manage my stuff. Who's going to tell you that, something is wrong with you because You still have the passion for what you do. What if something is wrong with you because you keep stopping niggas from doing what they love to do? Have you thought about that? Because we want to call people crazy because they didn't fit in that box. But I call people creative because they didn't fit in that box. Still alive. See you tomorrow. Hanging out with people can get dangerous. But waking up is what brings people back to the scene. For you. Because you was just supposed to be discovered. But as soon as you wake up, they gotta come back for you. And guess how? The heart. The one thing niggas break every day is the same thing that restarts itself after 2 hours. That's why they don't start sealing until 2 hours later. You're coming back. But now you have your suspect. That's the only difference. Because now you was at a location. You feel me? Now you know the company you keep. We all know the company. That's why our birthdays got smaller and smaller and smaller. Because you kept waking up on your birthday. It was supposed to be your burial. What's gonna come? And this lady was wondering about the wedding. Who's gonna come? When they try to kill you last time you didn't die. It's gonna make you think that the heart restarts after 2 hours. And usually it's after the coffin has been closed. So it's during the service. And they won't know until they're riding back in the hearse. Once you hear something, please open it, let the nigga out. That's why it's so slow. So most people don't realize the same nigga, he can hear you. Everything you say. He heard everything. The tears, the whole, everything. He woke up 2 hours later and embalming fluid and all. Just stiff. And he woke up. So think about it. Every grandma, they woke up. And what you did was just protect them from the accountant. You're dead to me. Alive. But if you say 4 of them niggas put something for the person who helped you be who you are, not everybody would put. And that's why they die. They don't want to give. They want to disown you. And I'm cool with it. Because when I finally get mine, I'm not expecting your hand to. If you want to know who really loves you, put on some makeup, deepen your voice, and speak to the world. You'll find out. Throw on some, what they call it, some tattoos, fake tattoos. Get a real makeup artist to do that and launch her career. Because you should know who's in your corner. You should know who's cheering you on. You should know who would never let you be that star that you deserve to be. You should know the afterlife is really just here without the bullshit. And that every bank has its own bullshit. But when you first go there, they're nice to you. They'll collect your fingerprints. For sure. But when you use it, what does it do? It locks you in. We're thinking height, weight, and smile. So I did. In both houses, I put money because I want to know the kind of family I have, the kind of man I have, the kind of love the world has given me that I've given them. When you walk into every hotel, you're not judged. You're welcome. That's the difference. Have a beautiful morning, y'all.